Hey everybody, how's it going? It's FamKam. And tonight we're going to be going through my Nintendo GameCube game collection. Now, as you probably saw in the thumbnail, it's not that big of a game collection, at least compared to a lot of the other platforms I have. But nevertheless, I'm pretty happy with the collection I have. So I'm going to go through every game I own on GameCube and tell y'all a little about it and my experiences with them. So first is Super Mario Sunshine. Now, I didn't own this game when the GameCube was in its prime. I actually got it maybe 10, 15 years later at a mom and pop retro game shop. But I rented it a good few times and borrowed it from friends a good few times. In fact, same thing is true about GoldenEye. But I digress. This is still one of my favorite games on the GameCube. I mean, not hard to imagine considering I'm a big Mario fan. And it's incredibly underrated. A lot of people say that this is one of the worst games in the series. I don't agree with that at all. It's not one of my favorites, I will say. But it is one of my favorites on GameCube. Not one of my favorites overall in the Mario series, but I digress. It is a lot of fun. It combines all the traditional Mario mechanics, but with a water hose to clean up the island. And that's kind of therapeutic. It is the most ASMR friendly Mario game out there, in my opinion, largely due to that. Just the sound of the spraying and cleaning up gunk that is all over the ground is just super satisfying. And the GameCube used small 3-inch in diameter discs, mini DVDs, which didn't really have much of a benefit, technically speaking, but they do look cool and they feel cool. Next is Mario Power Tennis. This is essentially the sequel to the N64 Mario Tennis, which I never owned, but also have rented a few times. I do like the N64 version a little bit better, but mostly because of the music. Lots of crazy gimmicks in this, where you have certain power-ups. Like if you play Overwatch, you could think of it as your ultimate that charges up and then you could use once in a while. Mario had a hammer that he would just slam the ball across with insane power. Bowser had a similar move, but instead of using a hammer, he breathed fire on it and then slammed it across. There's also certain kinds of mini games, like there's one where 4 players line up on the court in different sections of the court, and they can't move forward or backward, they can only move side to side, and hitting the power block swaps their positions, and they try to gather coins while avoiding fireballs. I really love it. In part because that level takes place in the underground areas that Mario Brothers from 1983 happens. You know, the sewers of Brooklyn. This is the disc of Mario Power Tennis. It looks just like a tennis ball. Pretty neat. Next is a game that I played on Twitch not that long ago. If you don't know, I stream on Twitch twice a week, Tuesdays and Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. Link down below in the description. Pikmin. This was the first game I ever had on GameCube. When it first came out, one of the most underrated games ever made anywhere, in my opinion. And this is one of the most ASMR friendly games I've ever played as well. You're a space cadet named Olimar. He's about the size of a quarter. And he commands a small army of Pikmin, 3 colors, red, yellow, and blue. The red Pikmin are resistant to fire. The yellow Pikmin can be thrown higher than everybody else and can carry bombs. The blue Pikmin can walk in the water without drowning. So you got to utilize them by color as part of your strategy. And the object is to find 30 ship parts in 30 days, because you crash land on the strange planet that the Pikmin are from, and 30 parts from your ship just scattered all across the land. And the disc looks like this. It has 3 red Pikmin. You could tell by the nose. You could see their nose poking out. Only the red Pikmin have that. And they're following Olimar? It's Olimar. Now, some of you know very well I'm a big James Bond fan, so I got a couple of James Bond games. One of them is Agent Under Fire. This is the first James Bond game, at least in the modern FPS style, that is neither based on a book nor a movie. It is an all original storyline. And it didn't utilize the likeness of Pierce Brosnan, likely due to legal issues or something like that. In the game that followed, which you'll see next, they finally were able to do that. When the world needs a hero, James Bond answers the call. Most of the levels are first-person shooters. Not quite GoldenEye-like, but in its own way, it's still great. And a lot of levels involving driving and raising hell on the streets in a way that's protecting the citizens. So raising hell against the bad guys that are actually raising hell, just as Bond does best. Here's the disc for Agent Under Fire. It's black and white. Nothing too special about it. It's really just the 007 logo with Agent Under Fire, but it looks pretty cool. And like I said, Nightfire, which is the direct sequel to Agent Under Fire, and they actually used Pierce Brosnan's likeness in the game. As you can see right here, that is the best they can do to replicate Pierce Brosnan's face in a game at the time, which doesn't look bad at all. I really like it. This one, like Agent Under Fire, combines first-person shooter levels and car levels, but it also has some rail shooter levels, which is a lot of fun. I wonder if that has to do with the fact that GoldenEye was originally going to be a rail shooter. Well, not originally. That was originally going to be a side-scroller shooter, and then a rail shooter, and then it became an FPS, but I'm going off on a tangent. But anyway, that is Nightfire. It combines those 3 elements. And the plot involves missiles being hijacked and taken into space and then being fired upon onto the Earth if Bond doesn't stop it in time. But yeah, he also drives the Aston Martin VTOL Vanquish, which was the same car he drove in Die Another Day, which came out the same year. And here is the disc for Nightfire. This looks really cool. It has Pierce Brosnan on the side, semi-silhouetted on the left. Really good lighting work. Wave Race Blue Storm. This is the sequel to the first Wave Race that was on N64. It is Nintendo's jet ski racing series. It is quite a lot of fun. It's a really great summer gaming experience. I absolutely love it. You could do a lot of stunts by going off ramps or even going off big waves. You could ride up a big wave as if it was a ramp, which is really cool. And then do a couple of barrel rolls and backflips and things like that. And here's the disc for Wave Race right here. It's got what I'm assuming is some kind of demon riding a jet ski, just like in the cover. I, to this day, have no idea what is up with this little guy, but it looks cool. SSX Tricky, my favorite snowboarding game of all time. It's got a lot of very interesting characters that are just full of sass. I don't know how to describe it. You just have to pick it up for yourself, but it is so much fun. It's a racing game / a stunts game where you compete for points doing tricks in show off mode, it's called. Had to think of the name for a second, but yeah, there's race, there's show off, and there's time attack. I usually do racing mode. You can shove your opponents into the ground and get full boost power. But the normal way to get boost is to do tricks, and then you earn some boost. But if you shove one of your opponents to the ground, you instantly get a full boost meter. And then you may end up arguing with that opponent at the end of the race, which is pretty damn funny. It looks like a typical BMX kind of graphic from the early 2000s, because the style of this game was heavily influenced by BMX, hence SSX. Super Monkey Ball, the original. It started as an arcade game in Japan, but then was eventually ported over to the GameCube, and then other consoles that followed, but at the time it was only for GameCube as far as home consoles go. And it is simple, yet so much fun. You riding a ball through a maze to get to the end, almost like Marble Madness. And it also featured some mini games. It had billiards, bowling, golf, monkey fight, monkey race, and monkey target. Now, monkey fight, you're on this little platform and you roll around with boxing gloves that are attached to the ball with a spring to try and knock your opponents off the map, a la Super Smash Brothers kind of thing. And monkey race, it's basically Super Monkey Ball's own Mario Kart. And monkey target, where you go off a ramp and then open the ball in the form of wings and fly and land on a target to get points. It's pretty fun. Here's the disc for Super Monkey Ball. It's I, that's his name, the main character, standing by a bunch of balls spelling out Super Monkey Ball context, and a banana bunch on the side. Which honestly, from a graphic design perspective, I feel like the bananas could have been larger context, because there's like so much negative space around here, which, I don't know. I get that they had to make room for the Sega logo, but you can barely see it. Same with the Dolby logo for surround sound. They could have just put them elsewhere and just expanded the size of the banana bunch. Again, context. Anywho, Sonic Adventure Deluxe Director's Cut. I also have the Dreamcast version and the Steam version of this game, but the first one I ever owned was the GameCube version. And what's special about the GameCube version is it was the first port that had enhanced graphics compared to the original Dreamcast version. The Dreamcast version looked amazing at the time, but once the GameCube version came out, I was really blown away by the improvements. It was the first Sonic game in 3D of this caliber. many Sonic games followed. A lot of which were broken, but I digress. Even Sonic Adventure had its fair share of bugs when it first came out on Dreamcast. A lot of them were ironed out by the time the GameCube version came out, but not all of them, of course. And this is the disc for Sonic Adventure Deluxe. Very plain, minimalist design with the Sonic Adventure Deluxe, Sonic Team and Sega, GameCube, ready for everyone, all that jazz. Plain and simple. I can appreciate the minimalist approach in some of these game discs. And last but most definitely not least, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. The GameCube version had the word battle added to the title because that's what they called the multiplayer battle version. Battle mode. Mode is the word, not version. Mode. Anyway, it was the first game to feature Shadow the Hedgehog and Rouge the Bat, both making their debut in this game. But because I'm old, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles are the real trio of the Sonic series and always will be. It also had the ability to link your Game Boy Advance to the GameCube. So if you had Sonic Advance and had a Chao Garden there, you can transport your Chao to this game, which I did a couple times. I've never spent that much time at the Chao Garden, but I've had a few Chao that I've raised and put in some mini games like Chao Boxing, which all you really do is sit back and cheer them on in hopes that you powered them up and leveled them up in the Chao Garden in order to dominate. It also had Chao Racing, which, again, is kind of the same thing, I think. I don't know. It's been so long since I've done anything Chao Garden related. It also had shooting battles if you played as Tails or Eggman, and Treasure Hunt if you played as Knuckles or Rouge. Sonic and Shadow, their levels are classic get from point A to point B at high speeds kind of thing that you'd expect from a Sonic game. And here is the disc for Sonic Adventure 2. It's simply Sonic and Shadow with blue and black. Blue for Sonic, black for Shadow. Very nice touch. Well, folks, that is all of my GameCube games. If you enjoyed this, be sure to give this a big thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you'd like to see more of my game collections in a future video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and ring the bell so you never miss another video. With that said, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And as always, stay chill. Have a good night.